Craziest story I can think of from when I used to work in a restaurant. You guys probably remember this. Random lady shits herself everywhere.
Who?
Do you remember
Wasn't
that?
An old guy?
Oh, was it a guy?
It was an
Dude,
old
I was
guy.
in the dish pit
Oh,
just...
no, yeah.
And then I remember
That's so. I was
a
really
smell
Yeah.
wafted throughout the whole place.
Do you guys know who served that guy?
I don't know. Was it you?
It was me. Welcome to the Apron podcast. Today we have Today on the menu, we'll be talking about what it was like serving in the 90s, a little bit about DJing. Welcome to the Apron podcast. Today on the menu we have... There's so much pressure on the intro, you guys. Hi guys, how can I get your water? Oh shit,
Podcast.
My name's John. I'm taking care of you today. Can I start you with something to drink?
My name's Taking Care of You Today, and I'll be John. Okay. I have forgot my name before. Stop. I'll just keep on going, okay? Alright, ladies.
Welcome back to the
The intro is just me crying. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Apron podcast. Today on the menu, we'll be talking about tip sharing. We'll also be talking about what it was like serving back in the 90s, a little bit about DJing as well. And we have a special guest today. On tap, Kirk. How you doing today,
I'm doing good, man. I think there's a new segment, too.
I think you fucked that up. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Apron podcast. Today on the menu, we have a special new segment that we're doing. So fuck you, Chip. We're keeping that one. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Apron podcast. Today on the menu, we'll be talking about what it was like to serve back in the 90s, a little bit about DJing as well as tip sharing. We also have a special new segment that we're going to be adding onto the show. But right now, on tap, Kirk.
What's up?
How you doing today, Chip?
Good, man. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And if people that don't know, he used to serve back in the 90s. He also DJ'd for a little bit, and right now he's an entrepreneur, with Siege MMA. Shout out to Siege.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Love the place. But how you doing, buddy?
Good. Glad to be here with you guys. Thank you.
You're welcome, man. So you served back in the 90s?
I served in probably from the early 92-ish all the way up through like the early 2000s, about 2002, 2003, something like that.
So what was your experience in like serving back then?
It's probably similar as today. I mean, I don't think that's evolved all that much, with the exception of I think we got paid $2 an hour back then.
Jesus Christ.
Plus tips, yeah. I think another difference too, and I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but back then it didn't really matter what restaurant you went to. You had to start as a busboy, and you kind of had to work your way up. You had to do that for a while, and we would have menu examinations to be a server and all kind of, I know there's still training and all that, but that was some of the things maybe I think. And obviously we didn't have the technology like we have today too.
Yeah.
Like all the little swipe at the table things and all
Chip?
that, which is good, because there were guys that were stealing money, or stealing credit card numbers and stuff like that back then. So that's about it, I think.
Those things the kiosks at like the front thing. I was so scared when I saw that. I was like, oh fuck, I'm jobless now. Like these fucking things are gonna take my goddamn job.
Start ordering from that.
Robots are taking over, dude.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part though, like people love to interact with servers. Like the restaurant that we work at, we deal with a lot of older guests, and after a little bit, I kind of realized this is all they have. Like, they go out to eat, and they want to learn about us. They're like, hey, where are you young snappers, doing nowadays? Like, please tell us a funny story, type deal. So
They want entertainment.
Yeah, so I think, a lot of guests kind of really rely on that. And a good server will, really make your day, as far as, if, they'll go above and beyond, your restaurant experience.
Right.
I never do that. But obviously I'm not a good server.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on the mood you're in, right? Because sometimes you go to a restaurant, you want to be left alone.
Mm-hmm.
But then sometimes they want to be real talkative, the people at the table and all that. What I never understood is the people who are out for dinner. I mean, when I go out for dinner, it's always it's almost like a mini celebration. We're not at home, We're not cooking, let's go out, let's have fun, let's eat some good food. I never got, as a server, why people would come in a pissed off mood just to be grumpy, when it...
Yeah.
That's the thing, because I totally agree. I feel like if you're outside, you're out there to interact with people, and honestly, we do deal with a lot of what do they call those, asocial or
Introverts.
assholes. Yeah,
So the A stands for, I think, yeah.
But,
introvert.
Yeah, we deal with a lot of introverts guests too, and I don't get it. go to order to go to a fast food restaurant or something like that. Like, because honestly, they kind of make my job hard. I'll try to like open up conversations, and then they're like, "Fucking this guy, get my shit," you know, type deal.
Right.
Like, that's what I'm feeling like with them. What type of restaurant did you work at?
The first big restaurant that I worked at was a real trendy Mexican food sit-down dine-in restaurant in Hawaii, in Honolulu, and really popular, is right by the ocean. And I had to start as a busboy, and it was crazy though. I mean, there were times, no kidding. I mean, there probably were 8 or 9 servers that would work the entire floor, and there were 2 to 3 busboys, and we would get hammered as busboys because they expected us to refill every drink, you know, regardless of what it was, fill up the chips and salsa, be on, you know, you had to be on top. Of course, you have to clear the tables and reset the tables.
I looked at Michael because I'm like, man, I wish these busters did that at our job. That'd be sick, man. That sounds like more than busting.
It was required of us, and if we didn't, like I remember one of the busboys we had a patio that was attached to the bar, and he'd always want to work out there because number one, the tips were better, but number two, his goal was to be a bartender. Mm-hmm. The rest of us wanted to be servers, so we'd work in the restaurant. But man, on Fridays and Saturday nights, I remember being there, and there'd be a 2-hour wait. The lobby was jam packed with people. You're slammed inside. When you run out of silverware, you're the guy that's separating the silverware in the back of the dishwasher and getting that ready. When the trash filled up, you're the one that was throwing it in a huge bin and wheeling it to the trash can. You're doing everything. And I was probably 19 years old at the time working there, and I'm telling you, there were nights, Fridays, Saturday nights, the servers are done. They've done their side work. They're talking, smoking cigarettes, whatever they're doing, counting their money, laughing, drinking a beer, and heading home. And I'm sitting there, and the floor looks like a grenade just went off. And I literally, there are times, and I kid you not, Friday, Saturday night, I sit there, and as a grown man, 19-year-old, wanting to cry. Because you look at the restaurant, you're like, I'm here for another 3 hours.
No, yeah.
Just cleaning up. Now, I would say, I mean, this is the early 90s, and as a busboy, I would walk with sometimes almost $100 in tips. But that means the servers are making like $300 on the weekend. You know, they're killing it. So that's the first restaurant I worked at. Worked there for a little while. I worked in another restaurant that was only open for dinner, and then it also had a nightclub attached to it. One of the servers that I worked with was he was one of the DJs. He kind of did double duty, and so I was like, hey, teach me how to DJ, man, and he did. And so then I kind of started working as a DJ for a little while. But I've worked at several restaurants as a busboy, as a server, and then I even crossed over to the dark side. I was a manager for a little while.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. For while I was in college.
Yeah. I feel like it's always a trap too, like when they ask you, like they're like, hey, do you want to, like these benefits, we'll pay you a salary type deal, and it is really like a trap. Like I feel like we make more money as servers than any of our managers there. Like I'm a server
For the hours that you work?
Oh yeah.
100%. Yeah. Absolutely.
What was your management experience like? Like how was that versus like serving? Obviously you like serving more, but
yeah, serving is fun. Everybody who serves, because you get cash every day. You don't have to work 8 hours necessarily. I know some restaurants do. You know, it's an 8-hour shift, but for the most part, you're there for the lunch rush or the dinner rush or both. But what was your question?
What was managing like differs from service? Like what do you like about serving versus like management? Like how was like that whole experience as a manager?
Yeah, you know, managing for me was just kind of cool because I was a little burnt out on serving. I think that people that can stick to serving for a long time are awesome. Yeah. Because it's hard work. People don't realize how hard it is.
And no, seriously. I came from, before serving, I was a chemical operator at a solar panel plant. So like after they shut down, I was like, okay, like I'll be a server. My sister did it, and I was like, dude, this could be the easiest job ever, dude. All I gotta do is take like fucking orders and punch them in. Dude, I was so bad for so long. I was like, dude, this job is hard. Yeah. Like, and I would get 3 table sections. I would be like, I was the worst server there. My manager, funny story, she actually said, she was like, honestly, I would have fired John a long time ago if he just didn't do everything I asked him to do. Like, that's how bad I was. I was like the best employee as far as like, I'll do whatever they want, and they still want to fire me. Yeah. So it's definitely a job with a big learning curve.
It is. It's so people don't realize you have to know the menu, you have to know the ingredients in the dish. You have, when people ask you questions, you're managing time, you have to be efficient, you have to be able to communicate with people, you have to put up with difficult personalities, including people that are pissed off at you because something happened in the kitchen or whatever the reason is.
You're always I hate those situations because we're the messenger. You know, like odds are we didn't cause whatever issue like is at your plate.
Right.
We didn't cook your food. Like there was no, we didn't do anything wrong as far as like, you know, like your bad experience, but
There
we're the
are
ones that get blamed.
There are
though, for
times that
sure.
sometimes you forget to enter the food order or something. Yeah, I've had,
Oh, yeah.
we've probably all done
For
that a few times, but usually they're mad because they waited for a long time to sit down, and then the kitchen's backed up and they're waiting for their food, or the food comes out burnt or whatever. It's usually not your fault, but you got to deal with it.
Oh yeah.
So you learn to talk. So it was nice for me to transition to a manager for a little while because I kind of got to take a break from the running around. I wish we had Garmin's back then or something, or the Fitbits or something where I could see how many steps I took during that day, because you're walking miles every day. There's no question about that.
I'm pretty sure I walk like 5 miles on average during like
Is
a
that right?
normal shift.
Yeah. Have you done it with a Fitbit or something?
On my phone, it'll
Okay.
track my steps.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I had a Pokemon Go. I had Pokemon Go, and
We all did.
Yeah, it keeps track of like on the steps. And I would always put like the biggest like egg to hatch, and I would crack that egg in the middle of every shift. I'd be like, switch
Oh,
switch that egg and stuff like that. I was getting rare Pokemons up the wazoo, dude. I was stoked, bro. Fucking exactly. So you don't realize how much physical activity goes like with serving. Like it's definitely kept me in shape, boys. But
it's a great job. Unless you want to get to management, like as a career, which I think you got to be crazy to want to do that.
Oh yeah.
But unless you want to do that, then it's just a great career for someone that's in school, or it's their side hustle to make cash every day, or whatever. Because the hours are great. Getting a shift covered is usually pretty easy, so it gives you a lot of freedom. It's a good job.
Do you miss anything like about serving, as far as like if I'm sure you throw on an apron and and throw down if need be, but what's something that you miss about serving?
Just the interaction with the people, I think. Because you only remember the bad ones.
Yeah.
But there are a ton of good ones. One thing I loved about restaurants is the restaurant people are generally fun and outgoing.
Mm-hmm.
So restaurant people are a blast to hang out with. That's probably the thing I miss the most. Yeah.
When going to like a table too, like as far as we deal with a lot of regulars in our area, but going to you introducing yourself to a table for your first time, what's your objective? Are you trying to be as charismatic as possible, or are you trying to turn and burn? I always tell people I'm trying to move them in and move them out as fast as possible.
You want to turn and burn. That's how you make your money, especially when you have limited tables in your station, but. For me, man, and I know you guys would agree with this. I'm working the tip from the moment I see the people walking in there. That's why we're there, and especially when you're making $2 an hour, you rely on that tip. So
well, you're really good at working the tip too. Sorry, guys.
It's no longer allowed on social media now. You just got it banned. But no, whatever. Every restaurant, depending which one you go to, they'll have trainings and they'll have a specific protocol you have to go through. Mm-hmm. A lot of them are just, the ones that I've had to go through are really sales techniques. It's the same kind of stuff that car salesmen go through or whatever, because you're just doing all the same. You're trying to be relatable. You're trying to find something you can talk about. You're being friendly. You're, affirmations, all this stuff, that you want to be their buddy. They feel more comfortable buying from a friend, and you want to upsell them, get the dessert, and then of course you want them to write that big number for a tip. So
and obviously too, the better you do is talk to them, build that relationship, the more they're gonna want to tip you. I'm always shocked when I'll give great service. And I'm sure this has happened to everybody here. I'll give great service. And they'll leave a lot of verbal tips. They'll be like, oh, you were great. I had this one guy he was like, oh, you were so good, blah blah blah. One of the best services we had. His bill was $40. He tipped me $2.
Wow.
I was like, hey, I have 2 kids and a wife, at home.
Well, that brings up a good point, because
verbal tips don't pay my bills.
What do you think what hurts more? What stings more, a low tip or a no tip?
Ooh.
Because when I worked at that Mexican restaurant I was talking about, there was a couple that would come in every weekend. They always had to have they came at the same time. I think it was on Saturdays, at 11. That's right when we opened. They always had to have the same table. They had to have the same server. Mm-hmm. They ordered the same thing, but they were just rude and mean the entire time. So I don't know why they always came back, and I don't know why they requested the same person. And then they would always leave literally change on the table, maybe 7 cents, a nickel and a couple pennies. And we're not talking about, sometimes the really old people will do that, but no, they weren't really old. They were probably in their 40s. And I would sit there and it's like, man, I'd rather you keep it
Yeah.
than give me 7
It's
cents.
like it's personal.
It's like it's insulting. It's almost like
It's insulting. Yeah.
it's almost if they walked out with nothing, you think maybe they forgot, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah.
But I mean, if they leave 7 cents, they're like, they did that on purpose.
Yeah.
You
They
know?
meant to do
They're
that.
trying to piss me off. And the worst thing is getting back to management is the managers would never take the server's side.
Oh yes.
They would
Drives me
they would
crazy.
kiss their ass every time. And I remember getting an argument with my manager going, why do we kiss their ass? Well, we want them to come back. Why? Why do we want customers like that?
Why, yeah.
They're two people. They order the same thing that they split. I mean, it's not like we're making a bunch of money out these people, and they give everybody a hard time. Why do we want them? You know,
That's funny that you say that. Like, there are some managers that won't have your back no matter what. Like, no matter how
Right.
good or how good that they know that you are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're just always on the customer side. We see like a lot of Yelp reviews. Like,
they're so afraid. They're so afraid of them going to the corporate office or something. You know.
And we see so many bad Yelp reviews. And if you go on our bad Yelp review page, like, or look at the bad Yelp reviews, it's always our district manager saying, "Oh, you know what? We're so sorry. Here's a $25 gift card." And so you're one of these people back. They're leaving a bad review. They're not gonna give you like change that review.
Right.
And then now more people see that and they're like, "Oh, if I leave a bad review, I'm gonna get money out of this. This is awesome."
Oh, I guarantee you, there
Yeah.
are people when they go out at night, they're thinking, "I'm going to get a free meal, and I'm going to try to get a gift card, or I'm going to get something." I guarantee you, because we've seen it too many times. People come in there, they complain about stuff that it's not worth complaining about. It happens all the time. Yeah. It's
Like there's a pube on my chicken, dude. Come on. I mean, there's pubes on every chicken, right? Like,
Just fucking eat it. Who cares?
Dude, I sauce it up.
the germs
dude. I'm like,
couldn't live through the deep fry.
exactly. No
You're
way.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask you actually, what is it like DJing? Is it just fucking cool or?
It is cool. Yeah,
Really?
it's pretty. Because I haven't done. Yeah, I know. Like Johnny does the like mobile DJ stuff. I've done a couple of those for friends.
Mm-hmm.
I've never done the mobile DJ thing. Mine was in a nightclub, so a couple different nightclubs. So that was a different experience. It's pretty cool being a DJ. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. You kind of control everything. You don't really work for tips anymore, but you still get a lot of tips.
Mhm.
You know, but I mean, you got a lot of power. You know, I remember once.
Hey, play this Tupac song. They like throw
Yeah.
like $15.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
okay, do Tupac.
You know, and
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people
Rest
say-
of the night, keep on getting that $15.
Yeah.
yeah, and people say all the time, you know, like, hey, play this song. You're like, all right, I'll get to it. But you really kind of, you know, play kind of what you want. I mean, your managers
Yeah.
have a style of music that they prefer you to play. But, you know, everybody loves a DJ, man. We're doing contests. We're giving away drinks. I mean, so
It's gotta be so fun.
you're almost, you're kind of like the star of the club a little bit. But I remember specifically we had a VIP room, and there was some party going on in there, and we had shut down. We were open till 4 a.m., but we had shut down. The lights had already come on. Everybody was out except for the last few people in the VIP room because they didn't want to, you know, just kick them out.
Mhm.
So they're kind of paying their tab, whatever. This guy comes out and he goes, "Hey, can you play Me So Horny?" And I go,
Which is a classic.
It is a classic.
I played
It's a
that-
banger.
Classic.
You know.
I played that at my wedding. That was my first dance.
Yeah, classic family song. And I'm like, "Oh man, I'm sorry. You know, like I can't. We've already turned on the music. Manager doesn't want the music on. You always blame the manager, right?
No, yeah.
Take it off of you." And he's like, "Oh man, come on, just one more song." I'm like, "Dude, I can't. Everyone's walking out. The lights are already on." And he's like, "Here's $50." I'm like, "All right, lights down, music
Yeah,
down."
yeah. Skip and play.
And one of the cocktail servers came over and she's like, he tipped you, didn't he?" I'm like, "Darn right, he tipped me."
Yeah, he did,
Yeah,
yeah.
$50. Yeah, he's gonna hear a song. She's like, "I figured."
Now, if you tip the DJ, your song's getting played.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
That's how I live by it. I don't care. Like, I mean, there are some like, for like weddings.
Yeah.
Our bride and groom, like they make a was it extensive playlist.
Mhm.
And we also have a do not playlist. You know, like, so if a song's on there, I won't play that song
Yeah.
unless like I get a thumbs up for them,
Mhm.
which never happens. One time, you know, like somebody asked, like, "Oh, come on, please play the song." He offered me money, and like I was like, "Listen, if you convince her to play the song, I will. But honestly, this is their wedding.
Yeah.
I don't want to mess with that.
Sure.
You know, like, I don't want to ruin their moment. There's a certain reason why they don't want that song played, and I'm not gonna be the guy that ruins their wedding.
Right,
absolutely.
Like, the way, like,
You don't want to make it about that guy.
exactly.
It's
Yeah,
about
yeah,
them.
It's
right?
about them.
They're married,
Yeah. The celebration of being married. But yeah, like, so I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, like, I mean, I totally understand what you mean as far as like, you know, fucking people tip you, bro. That song's getting
Yeah,
played for the most part.
it's
yeah.
gonna
As
play.
as a server, it's like, you know, like the guy wants a steak, and you're like, "No, the kitchen's closed," you know, and then I'll give you $50. Like, all right, go back there cooking myself. I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, our cooks are ready to go. Like 10 minutes prior to close, if you do order something, they'll tell you to cook it. They'll be like, cook it yourself, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
fucking ordering that. Yeah. But
That's why even now I'm cautious. When I go into a restaurant, it's like 10 minutes before closing, and you look and there are no tables, I'll usually leave out of courtesy.
Yeah.
You know, because you know what it's like. The guys have already just spent the last 30 minutes cleaning the grill and doing all that stuff, and then you come in there like, you know.
Yeah, that's what normal people do.
Yeah. People are,
It's what good people do, yeah.
And that's why it's like you have to work in the service industry. You have to work in the service industry at some point. I used to say all the time, it needs to be like a class in high school or something, because number one, you learn a lot, but also you understand better why you give somebody a tip.
Yeah.
And what they're doing, and the fact that they're getting, you know, charged taxes for sales and all this stuff, and you kind of just learn to understand how everything works. Learn to like tip DJs or whatever, because a lot of people don't even think about that.
No, yeah.
Most people, 80% of the people who come to the DJ booth request a song, and then I wouldn't play it because usually it's just some song that's like that means something to them and their girlfriends that they're with or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And so you know, and it's like
their uncle fucking made the song.
yeah, and it's like 15 years old.
No
You
one
know,
knows that. This is gonna clear the dance floor.
Yeah.
You know?
right, exactly.
You're going, yeah.
Exactly. So you don't want to play it, and they come up again. Oh, you still haven't played my song. I got a lot of requests, and you kind of like try to be nice but brush them off. But they don't understand. It's like it's a service industry.
No, yeah.
You know, if you want something, take care of me, and then I'll help you. I'll help you too, because I have all these people on the dance floor. If I play your song, like you said, they're gonna clear.
No, yeah.
And that's like killing a DJ, man. When you-
It's very momentum based.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's the worst, dude. Like, I've had it happen. I actually had it happen where the bride's like, "Hey, can you play this song?" I'm like, "Absolutely, yeah," because I'm never gonna say no to them.
Sure.
Like, there are those special guests at weddings, like, you know, I would say bride, the groom, you know, father of the bride, just their parents, just in general. Where if they request a song, that song's getting played. You know, like, and like I had a bride request a song, and I played the song, and everyone left the dance floor, including the bride. I was like, "You requested this," you know, like now I look bad, you know, but I mean, like I said, it's their wedding.
Yeah.
They do what they want.
Yeah, exactly. A nightclub is a little bit different from that because like our managers, you know, not every club is this way, but our managers wanted a good mix of people, so we had to play all types of music. We weren't really allowed to play more than 4 types of one genre at a time, although we would, you know, especially on a Friday or Saturday night because of the momentum thing. But because the manager's perspective is we want the dance floor to rotate. We want the guys that like the country music to go off and buy drinks.
Yeah.
We want the guys that like hip hop to go dance when hip hop is on, and then when you play the country or rock or whatever, they go off and buy drinks.
Very
They want to rotate the floor,
Right.
you know, so people are buying drinks because they're not making money while people are dancing.
And people don't realize, like, I mean, DJing is not just, oh yeah, you know, like you press play and that's good. You know, like you keeping the energy is like the craziest thing. And also like rotating genres, making sure everything does get played.
It's a lot. People don't realize, and it's even crazier now. I mean, because like DJs now are like,
It's a lot easier though now.
It's like,
Well,
well,
it's just a lot of pressure. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, now there's so much like electrical equipment to it
CDJs,
and technology
controllers,
that
yeah.
I mean, they almost the really good DJs play their equipment like it's an instrument. It's crazy. You know, back then it was just starting to get into where we had the CD players. We had actually, I mean, I learned on vinyl. You know, old school.
It's a workout, right? Like you fucking changing each of those. Like,
Yeah, well, we
like,
could leave it. We could leave them at the club, thankfully. But yeah, when it started going to CDs, that was a big relief. And then obviously, like MP3s and stuff was huge. But it was, it was something back then with the actual vinyl and learning how to do it. But the guys today, maybe they don't have to learn like how to beat match, you know, like we did back then. Maybe it's a little easier for stuff like that. But they're so freaking creative, man. With what they do, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think that's just technology, like just society in general. Like the longer something is, the more people will improve and be more creative, like doing the same thing over and over again. Like dance, if you think about dance, like, oh yeah, like 2 steps, that's what everyone was doing back in the day. Or like the waltz, or I don't know, I'm not a good dancer, but like now people are doing backflips on the dance floor, you know, twerking, you know, like from like the fucking ceiling. Like, you know, like this stuff gets improved over time, you know, like but sorry, I never got back to your question though, like I would prefer a 0 tip though, like
yeah,
That was a long time ago.
Oh yeah, I just never.
Anyway.
Anyway, go back to that.
Yeah.
But, like,
I think I
0
agree.
tip all day. Yeah.
What about you guys?
I don't know. I feel like I look at it in the big picture.
It was a low tip or no tip?
Yeah.
And I don't mean a low tip. I mean like an insultingly low tip.
No tip.
Yeah.
Because like you said, at least it's like maybe they just forgot. But if they're leaving you like fucking 5 cents, you're like, they meant to do that.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a direct
they went to eat at a restaurant, they gave you a goddamn nickel.
Right.
It's like, you know.
If it's a 10% tip, then you're like, maybe they just don't know. right? Maybe then that's why, like I said, people need to work in the service industry at some point in their life. But if it's like 10%, maybe they don't know. But if it's like you're talking 5%, 3%, you're like, this guy's trying to.
It's intentional.
Yeah.
It's like I can't, like, going back to that, I can't stand the verbal tips, like where it's like people like just like they're gonna soft me up and then like tip me hard.
They compliment you.
Yeah, it's nothing that, like, you know, it doesn't make me feel any better that, oh yeah, I gave this guy a great service, you know, like it doesn't pay my bills.
Right.
You know, like, you know, so I'd rather somebody say, hey, you were the worst server I've ever experienced in my life.
But here's $20.
Here's $20. I'd be like,
Work
keep
on
on
it.
coming back, yeah. Hey, request me, I'll get better
Yeah.
next time, I
Yeah,
swear. Yeah.
dude.
Those are the two people you remember, though, right? When you see coming back, the ones that tip really good and the ones that tip really bad.
Dude,
you remember
yes.
them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
dude, my problem is I don't know which one they are though. You know, like so I'll remember them like they're either one or the other. Fuck, which were they?
Yeah.
You know, like so I'm like, I'll take them. I'll get the bullet, and then they tip like 30 cents. I'm like,
Damn it.
John, remember they're bad. You know, like.
Have you ever just had somebody like tip really good and you remember them and then they come back and they just don't like meet that standard that they set? You know.
Yeah.
You're
Yes.
like, man, this wasn't how I remember.
Yeah, like
it."
one day it's $20 and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna work extra hard this
No,
time.
yeah.
They give you like $2, you know. Has that ever happened to you at all?
No, it's funny to say because it recently just happened to me. Like, well, right now, like the whole quarantine thing, nobody's serving. But before, like this girl would come in all the time. She would tip like $10 off of like in order like a $10-15 order. I'm like,
Right.
yeah, dude. And then like last time, I went like, oh, how's your grandchildren doing? Blah blah blah. Like, oh, I'm so happy to see you again. She tipped me $5. Like, and her order was more too. And I'm like, damn, what did I do wrong this time?
Maybe she knew.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. I'm like, what did I do wrong?
wrong?
And honestly, she's a lovely lady too. Like, I'm sure she didn't mean like to, and it was still a good tip. That wasn't a bad tip, but it wasn't 10.
It wasn't
10 off of 15. You know, like shit, dude. I'm like upselling and
You're like, I
now
busted
we
my
have to pay
ass
less.
this time just
Yeah.
to get $5.
No, yeah.
How awesome do you feel when you're waiting on a table and then during the course of the conversation they're like, oh yeah, because I work at XYZ restaurant. And you're like, oh
That's
yeah.
the best, dude.
You always want the service
Yeah.
industry people
Oh,
to
yeah.
sit in
Oh,
your
yeah.
station.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing. They know how to tip. They understand what you're going through. All that. Can we talk about who the worst people are?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's, for me, the worst people, and serving. I served here in Arizona. I did a little bit in Seattle when I was finishing college, but mostly.
Disclaimer, guys. This is gonna get fucking real.
Mostly, it's
Get
gonna
real.
get really real. But dude, foreigners are horrible tippers.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if because of spring training if we get a lot here, but in Hawaii we get a lot because we get visitors. But I mean, you can't blame them because they don't tip where they come from. But it's just annoying that they come. You get a table and they have accents from you name the country. It doesn't really matter. And you're like, I'm
Hey,
gonna
buddy.
get hosed.
It's like Middle East.
I don't know if you guys run across that at all.
No. Honestly, like
Europeans are really bad. I want to say Australians are really bad.
we have a lot of people from like the north. I won't say what country it is, but you know, like it could be Antarctica. They come down for the summer.
Pretty sure that's the farthest south you can go.
Yeah.
Or super north.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
think about that. This is a circle.
I guess you
we're,
keep going
We're living
north.
on a circle right now, unless if you believe in something else, you know. But
Circle?
I might.
You mean like a sphere?
Oh god, guys.
It's flat, dude.
Is it flat? Okay. I didn't know.
I don't really give a
I
shit.
don't know what like people agree with nowadays, but no, like yeah, a lot of the people like from the north, they don't tip like in the place they're from. You know, like their servers only get paid hourly, but they get paid decently hourly. So I don't know if they just forget that they're not up north and like they tip bad.
Or they assume it's the same.
No, but they're always tipping like 10%.
The thing is, it doesn't really matter where you're from. It's just you serving in a certain place, you kind of get used to a standard, and then different people coming in, they're not going to be the same as the people here.
No,
So it's not necessarily their fault, but you just expect something different, so it's kind of disappointing. But
Where do tips come from? You guys know? I mean, like you watch movies, the Italian mafia is always giving guys tips and smacking them on the face. Tucking in their shirt pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of where it came from.
Is it
actually.
from the
I forget. It was on like Adam Ruins Everything or something he talked about where tipping came from. It was like during the 20s and stuff, during like Prohibition.
Okay.
Like they would tip them to get better service.
Because it's got to be an American thing, right?
Yeah,
I mean, and
I'm
that's
pretty
probably
sure.
why the other
Definitely.
countries struggle with it.
What tips stand for, at least my manager told me this, to ensure prompt service.
Yep,
So
that's
tips.
what I've heard that too.
And
yeah.
I mean, dude, I live by that. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude.
So you hustle.
Never
I'm
heard
trying to
that.
hustle this, yeah.
Yeah, to ensure prompts. But the weird thing is too, though. I've traveled some to other countries, and then I always don't know what to do. You know, like, do I give them a tip? Do I not give them a tip? Is it included? Is it not included?
Mm-hmm.
If I do give a tip, am I insulting them because, like, I think
They're like, what the fuck is
I
this?
think they're poor and they need my American money, you know? Or if I don't tip, or they're like stingy foreigner.
How dare
know?
you? And then they fucking like smack you like, we're doing fine, okay? We have Ferraris here.
Right.
So yeah, the whole thing is just kind of weird, but I'm pretty sure it's an American thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's got to be.
Well,
You know what I've had happen to me before? I mean, it's kind of on the subject. I was hanging out. I was like 15 years old. I was hanging out on the side of the road with one of my friends, and we used to like skate around the neighborhood. Anyway, I have this guy drive past me, gets out of his car, gives me $20, and he's like, "I hope you get better, dude." Gets in his car and walks away, and I was like,
he said, I hope you get better.
"Yeah, like back on your feet." I was like, "What?" So I felt like insulted, but I was like, "I just got $20." But like, I was like, "Is it because of how I look, or like he just gave me $20?" He's like, "I hope you get back on your feet, dude." He just dipped, and I was like, I don't know if I should be happy or really fucking mad. Like,
I can make a living out of this.
Wait a minute.
Next week you had a cardboard sign. This works, man.
Trying to get better.
Yeah, dude.
Help me get back on my feet.
Help me get back on my feet.
Apparently I have
the
issues.
weirdest thing that's ever happened to me.
Oh, this is
I
fun.
was like happy, but I was like, dude, I don't know why you just gave me that money. Like, is it because of how I look, or like, you just stopped on the side of the road? It's like, here, dude, hope you get better. I was like, thanks, man. Fuck, I don't know.
Me too.
Yeah, oh man,
Yeah.
it's been really rough.
Yeah.
You don't
If
even
he's
know.
not asking for any favors afterwards, take the money and go, man.
Oh, yeah.
Stay happy.
Seriously.
I'll take money. People
You want to earn
hand me
$20?
Oh god, dude.
I was gonna say, did he like proposition you?
Yeah.
Thankfully, no.
No strings attached, huh?
That's awesome, though,
Not bad.
dude. Yeah.
I had a lady give me their bill was so. Here's one thing that's kind of strange. One thing that's changed. You talk about something that's changed. When I worked as a server, tips is 15%.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much. I mean, and if you did good, they
Yeah.
give you 20. You know,
Yeah.
but the standard was 15%. And then I remember getting out of the business for a while and going to a restaurant, and then people were like, "Oh no, the standard's 18 now." I'm like, "Well, who did that? Like,
Yeah.
when did that happen?"
Who decided? Hey,
decided
by the way,
that?
we have a meeting.
Make it 18.
18%. Yeah, like
Yeah.
and then somebody else said, "Hey, no, 20%."
We might as well round it up. Let's just make
Yeah,
it 20.
It's like
Let's make it
bringing
20.
minimum wage up, you know, or something else.
Yeah.
It's like what? And then now it is like 20, isn't it? Like
Yeah,
20,
yeah, 20% is golden. If
Yeah.
someone,
That's the standard,
yeah,
I'd say.
I'll never get mad if anybody tips me 20%.
No,
Like,
20% is. I generally, being a former server and in the
Well-
industry, I generally tend to tip 20% unless they're horrible.
Do you tip? This is a big thing. Oh man, in my restaurant, like kind of like screwed us all on this too though. I love the restaurant I work at, but like sometimes their decisions aren't made for the servers like benefits. It's always like the guests. But like, do you tip before tax or after tax?
I tip before tax.
Okay, so like, so if the bill is $25, like.
Oh wait, are you talking about? Okay, let me rephrase that. I include tax in the total. when I
Exactly.
go-
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you
Yeah, so,
tip.
so you see
Yeah.
total amount
After
20.
tax.
Yeah,
After
25.
tax, After tax,
Yeah.
yeah.
After tax. Okay, yeah. Well, our management decided to like to put suggested.
Suggested tips.
Thank you.
Yeah.
God, thank you.
Oh, on the receipt, on the
on-
where they sign.
on the receipt,
Yeah.
but it's before tax,
Oh.
and that shit adds up. Like I always say on our spaghetti meatball days, like we're running around like hustling. Spaghetti meatball is $6.99, so we get a lot of people coming in. Water, spaghetti meatball. They usually tip $2, which is great. Like that's way over
Yeah.
20% off of $6, and we love it. But when they added that before tax, they look at the bill and they're like, "Oh, I could tip 60 something
So
cents."
I could be completely wrong here. We'd have to like look in Wikipedia or something. But I think tip is technically supposed to be the total before tax.
I think so too.
Because
Yeah.
I don't think you tip on what the government is getting.
That's
I know.
true.
I think, and,
Yeah.
you, and
But we do.
and
I
you-
mean, we
But people
we
don't know that.
we
Yeah.
pay tax.
They don't
on
you
it.
pay tax on what you sell, which is
Yeah.
the number before the taxes
Yeah.
are added. So I think that's probably why.
Bullshit though.
Yeah, no, we're always trying to squeeze out an extra dollar or so, right?
Right.
From people.
Dude, that shit that adds up. I always say if you can get $1 extra off of every table by the end of the day, you're plus over $100 of what you expected.
Yeah.
And if you get like, because this happens to me all the time, like I'll get one minus $1 off of a tip, or like I always say like $30 fucking sucks because people will tip $5. And if that recurring keeps on coming up, by the end of the shift, I'm like $50 short. I'm like, dude, this sucks. And then I still have to tip out busters, expos,
Mm-hmm.
so then I'm really in the hole at that point.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, that's something that just drives me crazy.
Well, so back when it was 15%, so like on $35, it's around $5. And I remember somebody gave me a tip for $5, and I was like, all right, cool. And then, but it was like new money from the bank, like real sticky and stiff and like
Sticky.
stuck to.
Oh yeah, dude.
You know that new money
brand
sticks
new money.
together.
That strip club money?
Yeah,
that's
no.
strip club money,
This
dude.
is definitely not strip club money. This is like right out of the Federal Reserve money or
Oh, yeah.
whoever prints it. So it was like a 50 stuck to a 5, which is pretty sweet. And so I felt kind of bad. I had no idea who these people were. They paid in cash. It was a 50 new bill stuck to a 5 new bill. They probably didn't know it till they got home. So I kept it in a separate pocket because I'm like, I'm not keeping that.
Yeah.
If the people come back, I'm going to give it to them. And they never came back. So I wasn't going to give it to the restaurant either.
No, yeah, exactly.
Some manager would pocket it, It's like,
The kindness of your heart. Hey, can you find that guy?
Yeah.
Dude, that's funny. One time, like somebody, he paid with $200, like $200, like two $200 bills, and I gave him back like one of the hundreds and then the change for the other thing. And he comes back and he said, "Oh, hey, you accidentally left 100 there." I'm like, and I could have just been like, "Oh, yeah, you're totally right," and then I would have got plus $100.
Yeah.
But I told him, I was like, actually, you paid with $200 bills. I thought it was kind of weird. I was like, I did a good job. I didn't think I did that good of a job.
Yeah.
Like at the kindness of my heart, I thought like he wanted that back, which he did. And,
Which he did.
Which is better because he would have got home and figured out like what happened, and then he would have called your manager or been pissed off at you.
Exactly.
forever.
He's like, I'm short $100. And what happens in that situation? Like
Yeah, it's such a large amount too. Like it's definitely noticeable.
No,
Like,
yeah.
you can't just pocket that.
Right.
They'll know right when they get home.
off of a $60 bill, I fucking walk out with $112. I'm like,
Adds
hell
up to me.
yeah. I'm like, what a good guy.
I must have done a fucking
I got a
great job.
10,000% tip.
No, yeah.
That was incredible.
Do you guys ever notice though too like there are certain people like that walk in and I mean I guess because those people I was like they definitely didn't mean to tip that much like looking at them I hate to judge books by their cover but obviously I was right. They still tip good. I don't mean to say anything like that, but like are there any like people that you see like dressed up in a certain way you're like, dude, these are hell yeah, I want them in my section type deal?
What do you guys think?
Not particularly. Like I don't think we really come across that many people at our restaurant that are like dressed up because it's a nice restaurant. But
They
it's
got
not,
like the top
fine
hat and the
dining or
cane,
anything.
Like the Monopoly guy.
The monocle,
monocle, calling everyone young chap.
You have $6.99 spaghetti and meatballs, I see.
Old sport.
Just pulled up in my Rolls Royce. Where's your valet,
Yeah,
guys?
dude.
Yeah. No one like that.
He's like,
I'd say there's
"Park this
people
for
that
me."
I avoid though.
Oh, yes.
You avoid those people?
I say there is people that I avoid.
Oh,
though.
okay.
High schoolers of like parties of 20.
Yeah, kids.
Parties of 20 high schoolers. All separate
homecoming.
bills.
Yeah.
All separate checks. They're all getting dessert, which I always say.
With the $10 their parents gave them to go out for the night, you
Yeah,
know.
right. They're
Just enough to
usually
pay
on a
for it.
budget.
They're all like, oh, sweet, mom gave me $10 and the bill was $9. I have an extra $1 left over. Sweet.
Yeah.
You know, there's this thing called tipping, guys. You know,
Yeah.
and we need them.
Well, they run out laughing that they didn't tip. Or just run out and not pay at all or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh.
The teenagers are you're like...
Have you ever worked in a restaurant where, because I've worked in a restaurant like this where you share tips with other servers?
I have not. I know people that have.
Yeah, me.
That's a thing?
Yeah, I would never do it.
Yeah.
I would never do it.
I couldn't do that.
Wow, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
That's weird.
No, yeah, I worked in
A Japanese restaurant, right?
a Japanese restaurant. Yeah, we'll just make up a name, Hayashi. You know, like.
Actually, you're not saying anything bad about them.
No,
It's just
yeah.
their policy.
No, that's bad.
Shout out.
I worked at Hayashi and they required us to tip share. And at the end of the night, we would give all our money and they would pool it over. The problem with that,
Dude, that sucks.
oh, dude, it totally sucks.
Because if you got some bad people on your crew, dude, you're not making any
No.
money.
Dude, but check.
Or you're
but-
busting your ass.
Oh,
And
yeah,
somebody's
dude.
chilling and they get the same amount as you.
My
I would
manager,
be so mad.
my manager, like she would literally give me teppanyaki, which is like the big tables like that people would cook in front of you, fucking throw like onions at you.
Did
that
you
are on
do
fire.
it?
Fuck no,
Oh,
dude.
okay.
Yeah, Dude, my wife has to watch me with a fucking fork, dude. Like she's like, John, you're gonna get hurt. Okay,
Yeah.
let me
Maybe
supervise
put
this,
that
yeah.
down.
But like, no, like, so she would give me teppanyaki and dining. So I would have 2 sections, and I'm doing twice the work, and I would have to like.
You have to share with
Yeah,
everyone.
dealing out my
Yeah,
money. So
that's-
it doesn't matter about the sections; it just matters about how much is in that pot at the end of the day. So
That
I always I quit that job like pretty shortly after. I always leave my 2-week notice, but Dude, that place sucked.
I mean, how was it like sharing? Was it really that bad?
Oh, it was terrible,
really?
dude. And one time too, like we tip shared, and somebody fucking stole the tip share. Like literally, like one of the servers took the tip share, and it sucked too because my buddy got blamed for it, and he was my roommate at the time, and they suspended him, and then I was stuck with like paying rent and like.
Because he couldn't make the money.
Because he couldn't make the money, and I'm
Wow.
like, I'm already out like $100-something for like.
Well, didn't he have that money that he took?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he like I was like, dude, I wish he had that money because
Hey, John, don't worry.
You're
about
like,
it. It's all
dude,
good. I got
just
my-
be honest.
Yeah.
Did you take
Yeah.
it? You can tell me.
No, yeah. He like pulls up with like in like a fucking like new car. He's like, oh, what? Like, I'm like,
He's like, John, don't rat me out, but rent's gonna be good this month.
Yeah.
And then
We're gonna be eating good.
That'll be just fine.
But and that was a crazy place too though, because we would tip out so much to like the cooks. Like we would tip out the cooks, which I thought was crazy. I'm like, dude, they're already making tips, and then they're making double tips off of their.
When cooks get
like,
paid a
off
lot
us.
more too.
And they're not
than
making
servers.
server
Yeah.
money, like they're hourly.
And they're already
Yeah.
they already get a salary too. Like so, like dude, that was a good position. Like dude, like fucking cooks had the best cars there. Like in our restaurant, it's not like that. You know, like our cooks come to work, and I think they're overworked, underpaid. They're just so valuable. Like people don't realize how valuable good
Unless
cooks
you're
are.
chef. He's got a nice truck.
Dude, yeah, chef. He pulled up in a helicopter, dude.
Oh yeah.
You know,
dude.
yeah, like they have
He
a
parks on top of the building,
landing
dude.
space, dude. But dude, that man does everything. He's like the equivalent of the heart of the restaurant, and he has a mustache. Like he looks like the chef, like a Mexican version of Chef Boyardee.
Dude, it's just that classic Mario mustache.
And
dude.
he's so
Like-
fucking funny too.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Like my first, like when I first started working there, like he would say, because my name is John. My name is John.
Yeah, it used to be. Yeah.
My name was John.
Yeah.
The server
That's fine.
formerly known as John. So he would say, "Oh, John Wayne," and he would sing. He would say, John Gay, John Gay, John Gay, John Gay, John Gay. I'm like, yeah, are you saying John Gay? He's like, no, John Wayne. I'm saying John
Oh, okay, that's what I thought you
He
said.
still does that to
He
this
still
day.
says John
It's
Gay.
That's
And
hilarious.
no, but he's a ride. He's such a hard worker, and dude, funniest guy I fucking know.
Oh yeah.
Funniest dude. Like, I mean, serving's like one of those industries too, like where you kind of like have like these crazy characters.
Yeah.
What's the craziest character that you ran into, like, at least as far as working with?
Oh man, I'd have to think about that one. But I mean, all the cooks have been in jail. You know, I mean, like most of them, and
That's our dishwashers.
yeah, that's it. Oh, that's true. Actually, you're right. The dishwashers for sure.
No, yeah.
That's why that's the only thing they can do. Man, I don't know. Crazy character. There's so many. You know, like we talked about earlier. I mean, the personalities that work at a restaurant are one of the things that make a restaurant great. Man, that's a tough one. I don't know.
One guy that I worked with, this was at Hayashi. His name was Sam, and I was like he's from like China. Like he would tell me all the time. He's like, yeah, I'm from China. Like, sorry for like the accent, but that's just the way he talked. You know, I'm just saying like the way.
Yeah,
he
it was
talked.
good.
Oh yeah,
Oh, we're all white
he's like,
here.
he said he's like yeah. I'm like, so your name's not like Sam, right? Like he's like, no. I come off the plane and I saw a Sam's Club and I said I like that name. That's my name now. And I was like,
Right on.
nice,
Sure.
yeah. And it's funny. He before I left, he recently got his kids. Like they flew his kids over. Like his wife did, and then he was watching them, and he'd tell me, he's like, God damn it, I have my kids. They're so fucking annoying. Like I just want them to leave, and I'm like, sorry, man, you're stuck with them.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you, bud. My table's calling me right now. I gotta
gotta
walk away
go.
from this conversation, dude. But he's definitely the craziest character I've probably worked with. What about you two?
Do you
This guy right here.
This guy. Not even. No, there was this cook. I can't remember his name, but I think he was on coke or some shit. Because at the end of the night,
Probably,
he'd get
yeah.
really energetic,
Yeah.
and he'd start like.
Oh,
making,
let's
like,
cook,
these-
guys!
He'd make these like cartoon sounds. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, dude, what's his name? David?
Is it David? I don't know.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I don't
I think
remember
it was
his
like
name.
I think he was Mexican, so something.
It was something like it was a Mexican name. I can't remember because he wasn't there for too long. But
Wasn't
dude,
he-
he was hilarious.
Wasn't it Enrique? Enrique was,
No, not
okay,
Enrique,
yeah.
No, he would be like such a dedicated worker, like so serious all throughout the day, and then like 9 o'clock, like something just clicks in his head, and then he's SpongeBob, and then like he's doing all these like impersonations, like you hear him in the walk-in just like yelling at the top of his lungs.
You hear him across the restaurant.
Yeah, like echo throughout the place, and I'm like, oh my god.
That's when his meds wear off.
Yeah, dude, seriously.
Dude, dude, some cooks can be like fucking right.
He was hilarious.
Yeah.
You knew it was gonna be a good day if he was there, dude. Oh my god.
What's your craziest, wildest story from serving?
Oh, well, like I said earlier, you remember the good ones and you remember the bad ones. I think maybe the worst, and this was here in Arizona when I first moved here. The worst table probably that stands out that I ever had was this couple came in. They ordered appetizers and whatever food, and one of them ordered appetizers and the meal, and I think the other it was a couple, and the guy got, I don't remember what he got, but they both ordered water and asked for lemon, right? So that's not unusual, right? Every server forever has served water with lemon.
Right.
So serve the water with the lemon, and they go, no, we want like a whole bunch of lemon. Like bring us like a couple of lemons worth of lemon. And I go, okay. And they kind of had attitude about it, you know? Right. So then I get there and they've dumped all the sugars in their water too. They're trying to make homemade lemonade at the table for free, right, dude? And it's like, I didn't say this, but I wanted to say, we serve lemonade, and I would have given you a free complimentary glass of lemonade if that's what you're trying to do. You know, instead of making your own.
You're making this mess that I have to pick up. Right. I will get you real lemonade.
Exactly. I mean, you're not really pulling a fast one on anybody. Yeah. And then when they ate, no joke, 90% of their plate. And then they said, this doesn't taste like it normally tastes. I want to see a manager. And so they called the manager, and the manager comped the meal, of course. And it's like... And
this water tastes a lot like fucking lemonade. Like, Ew, yeah.
The sugar levels in this water is unacceptable. So they comped the whole meal. It's like they came into the restaurant that night to do that. But if you're going to try to comp a meal, why... Order a freaking lemonade.
If you're planning to get a free meal, I think that's their plan B. They're like, okay,
dude, that's hilarious. Just making their own lemonade.
I'd never seen anything like that ever.
Guys. Yeah, a couple people like that where they get a bunch of, or they'll bring in like the little like packets of stuff, the little flavoring, whatever.
To flavor their own water.
Yeah,
I feel like
that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But if you're like asking for lemon so you can
that's still cheating.
Breaking Bad up
still
some
cheating
stuff.
the system a little bit, though. You know, if they order water to get like a flavored drink instead of paying for a flavored drink, it's still kind of like
It's like asking your meth dealer if, for all the ingredients for meth without buying his meth. You know?
It's just like
it's insulting, guys.
It's insulting.
Don't do meth, guys.
No, dude.
Yeah, that
craziest story I can think of from when I used to work in a restaurant. You guys probably remember this. It was a normal Tuesday, okay? 85 degrees outside. Okay. Normal day.
Yeah. That's fucking
humidity
cold.
was good.
That's cold in Arizona, dude. 85. Fuck.
So you have like
the middle of deserts.
It was probably 105.
No.
Do you remember?
This guy paints a good picture here.
Random lady shits herself everywhere.
Who?
Do you remember
was
that?
An old guy.
Was it a guy?
It was
dude, I was in the dish pit. And then I remember
I was
a
really
smell wafted throughout the
wait.
whole place.
Where was that at? It wasn't me, but I mean...
It was an Italian restaurant.
You kind of look familiar.
Was it in Surprise? Okay. No, because I have a friend. It would have been crazy because it's a small world. I have a friend whose dad had some issues and they went to the Chipotle in Goodyear. And then outside the Chipotle, he had an accent very similar.
Oh, dude, I'm having accents after the first bite of Chipotle.
I
take one. Think about Chipotle, I'm like kind of like,
you have an accent.
Shit right now.
Yeah.
That's
dude, but I was
and I have it in the restaurant.
In the restaurant,
and he walked.
He trailed it. Yeah, he trailed it through the place.
Wait,
I wasn't there.
Luckily, do you guys know who served that guy?
I don't know. Was it you?
It was me.
Wow.
Dude, I love this story, dude. I'm so happy you brought this up. He sat at the bar, and it was Josh. Remember Josh? He had like I love these people with a Texan accent. Like they had this like strong, wow West accent. They fucking rope you into it too. They start talking like for a long time. You're hanging out with them. You start sounding like you're from Texas. That was that guy. He was an angel sent from Texas.
Y'all want more water?
Y'all want more water? But at the bar, like we have 2 bartenders, you know, on busy nights. So one person runs the line, one person like you know is making the drinks, and he's fucking, you know, no homo. He's a gorgeous guy, like tall, whatever, like. And I'm like, he's the face that's gonna be serving these people, you know, like, and has that Texan accent. Everyone's gonna start talking like him, but he's talking to this guy, and this guy has 2 chicks, you know, like 2 random chicks that he just met at this restaurant. And, you know, like, shooting the shit with all them.
Yep.
And then, dude, it happens, dude.
Yeah.
He gets up, like, frantically, and I'm like, what's going on over here? And, like, dude, like, he, like, beelines it straight to the restroom. And, like, you know, then I hear, like, the whole mood of the restaurant, like, turned into, like, what the fuck just happened? Like, everyone stopped talking.
Dude.
And I was like, what's going on? I look over the corner by, like, the station. There's this and it's not like hard poop or anything like that. It's fucking watery, gross, the grossest poop you've ever seen in your life. And I was like,
How embarrassing for that guy.
oh, dude.
I felt so bad.
Check this out, though. Check this out. This is the kicker. So this thing happens, dude, right? So in our management's doing a great. No, first of all, nobody wants to pick up the shit though either.
Oh,
Like,
I remember everyone was arguing about who was gonna do it.
I beelined it straight to you. I was like, hey, can you clean up? We had an accident on aisle 2.
He was trying to get me to do it. I was like, no way,
I just
dude.
feel you.
I'm just a dishwasher,
you're
man. I'm not doing this.
You're around the most sanitary like products and stuff like that. I don't want to fucking deal with shit. I have to deal with other customers. Oh, hey, sorry, I got a piece of shit on your fucking plate. By picking that up, so I didn't want to deal with it. I told my managers they didn't want to deal with it. Nobody wanted to deal with this piece of shit that was laying there. And the longer it sat there, the more pissed off other customers get. Dude, like I'm telling you, this shit was like from like reaching distance from the next table that was by this shit. So in like they started complaining. Like so, 5 people's meals got comped because of this dude. But this guy,
everyone's gagging up a storm.
And by the way,
Oh, I would too.
by the
I
way,
would too.
those 2 ladies, they fucking booked it, bro. They're like, fuck this guy, like.
Peace.
But the best like management like the poop gets picked up. Michael picks up the poop. He's a saint.
Bless his heart.
He used to be like EMT Mike. So he used to be EMT. So he was used to all that stuff. He was the hero of the day. He picked it up, and then like the management like we got this guy a towel to kind of like put him like go through the back. Dude, he comes up to the bar and he's like, hey, where did those ladies go? I was like,
What a fucking guy.
He's like, hey, I'm gonna turn this around. You know, like, like you're really gonna shit yourself, and then like get these 2 ladies like to.
It was
like,
all part of his
like
plan.
make
It's
them
not
erase
how
everything.
many times you fall down, man. It's how many times you pick yourself up.
Dude, there you go.
How many times you shit yourself?
It's how many times you clean yourself off and go back to the bar.
Clean yourself
Doesn't matter how many times he shits at this restaurant. He's gonna keep on plugging away. Eventually,
dude,
someone
I
will
was-
say yes after that.
Ecstatic. Like I could not believe that it happened.
It was so gross.
Dude, it was the weirdest thing.
I was nervous too because I looked at Josh. I was like, did you fucking overserve that guy? Oh, dude, another crazy thing about that whole story too. That guy's nephew worked at Babo's too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and shortly after that incident happened, that guy quit. Cause I'm like, yeah, if you're known like with your uncle just like came in and took a shit on the floor,
right.
that's gonna follow you.
Yeah.
Like that's gonna follow you. You should probably quit that day.
It's not easy to
You
get
should come
around.
back to work.
You're
Yeah.
like, here's Dave. His uncle came in one day and shit. And
Yeah, everyone starts calling him shit boy. You know, yeah, it's just not an easy time.
And is it run in the family?
We're all fist bumping each other. We can keep this in like the extra clips, but there was this time, this kid Lucas, I stayed over at his house. I used his bathroom. I mean, this was like a total Dumb and Dumber moment, dude.
I remember.
Okay,
Yes.
I go into his bathroom, dude. I like spaz 12 shotgun shit, just blew that thing up, dude. Disgusting. Okay,
Hitting fucking walls.
right when I
Oh,
touched the handle,
Projectile shit.
I was like, "Fuck, dude." His mom knocks on the door, and she straight goes, "I hope you're not using the bathroom. It doesn't work." And I was like, "Fuck, dude." So I started thinking of Dumb and Dumber, like my favorite movie. I was like, "Oh my god, it's happening." So I'm sitting in there for like 20 minutes.
Was
trying
that
to
Dumb and Dumber or was it Ace Ventura?
No,
maybe both.
It was
But Dumb and Dumber for
Dumber,
sure.
It was
Okay.
Dumb and Dumber or something like that.
Okay.
There's shit everywhere.
That happened in
Yeah.
that one
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
But no, so I'm sitting there like 15 minutes, and even Lucas is kind of like knocking on the door. He's like, "Yo, you good?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just not feeling too well." I'm like, fuck, dude.
He's like, yeah, I'm just shaving.
Yeah, straight up, dude. So I was sitting there. I couldn't think of any logical thing to do. I just dipped. Never talked to him again. I never talked to him again. I fucking avoided him in school, blocked his number, avoided any route he might take in my neighborhood so I did not have to see him.
Change schools, change
I was
states.
like 12 years old.
Okay.
Dude, oh my god, my heart was racing. And just knowing that they discovered
They
what I
can't
had
know
left.
that I shit.
Yeah.
They can never know that. I don't want them to know that about me.
Dude, I was just like a very awkward, shy kid. I was like, fuck, I can't believe I did this, dude. This sucks.
You're the Jason Bourne of shits, dude. Like that whole family was thinking like, what a shitty guy. You know, like, what an asshole.
The window was this big, and he's squeezing out somehow.
Dude, when you shit when shit happens, I know, like you fucking just
Shit happens,
you get
dude.
creative, you know, like
Dude, I had a moment where I thought about. I didn't do it.
ending it all.
I thought about straight up
Scooping it out.
fucking bare hand grabbing that shit, putting it in the sink,
And just wash it
and
down.
watering it down. I thought about it. I wasn't gonna do it, but dude, you gotta go with anything you can fucking think. It's fucking.
You're gonna
flight.
yeah.
You gotta do whatever you gotta do
It's
to
like
get the hell out of there,
panic
dude.
Mode.
Dude, I'm trying to survive that out here.
I think that's
Dude,
one of the phases of SEAL training. actually.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what it felt
Shitting your
like.
friends
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
that doesn't work. You know, like,
Need the toilet.
try to get out of it.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god.
I do have an embarrassing moment that actually happened at a restaurant. If we tie this whole thing together, it wasn't about pooping, but it's close.
Let's go.
So it's at the end of my shift. I was working the lunch shift, and my side work was to prepare the tea station to make sure the sugars were stocked and all that stuff. And I had to cut all the lemons. So I'm slicing all the lemons, whatever, and I'm getting ready to go. And you're always trying to rush, and then like the lead server has to sign off your envelope, your cashier turning in, or however you guys do it now. But so I'm getting all my money together, and I'm like, man, it smells so freaking lemony, and like it smells. I like the smell of lemon, but I'm thinking I must just have lemon juice all over my hands or something. Well, right next to the restaurant, actually connected to the building, was a bank, and I would always take my tips and deposit it right into the bank, because if I had cash, I'd spend it. And I was trying to save it for bills, So I walk out of the restaurant, walk across to where the bank is, go into the bank, and I'm standing in line. There are probably 12 people in line, and I'm standing there, kind of just trying to chit chat a little bit with the people waiting in line, and nobody will look me in the eye. And I'm like, this is weird. I get up to the teller, and it's a girl that I've seen there a million times before, and I crack a joke, some stupid joke, and like she kind of like and kind of looks down like she's embarrassed. I'm like, what's with people today, man? I don't get it. So, anyways, I give her my money. She makes the deposit. I walk out to my car in the parking lot. I go to adjust my mirror as I'm backing out of the spot, and I had a piece of lemon pulp on the tip of my nose, and it looked like this big nasty booger just sitting there on my nose.
People
And I'm
are
like,
too nice,
Oh,
dude.
yeah. There's no hero out there.
And it's like, but that's the thing. Like, nobody told me I was in the restaurant.
Yeah.
I said goodbye to about 10 other servers on my way out.
my
Gave the
God.
money to the manager. Nobody said anything. I go into the bank. Nobody says anything. I get in the car and I'm like, oh, good Lord. And now, and that's why it smelled so lemony, obviously, because I have a piece of freaking lemon hanging out the tip of my nose. Yeah.
Yeah.
You walk out there like, do you see that booger on Chip, dude? What the fuck, bro? Yeah.
Exactly.
Take care of that shit, dude.
Later, booger boy.
All the fun things we're missing out on right now with the coronavirus.
No,
Seriously, yeah. One thing that we like to do on the show, we like to do segments to keep it all fresh.
Lemon fresh.
Lemon fresh,
Fresh.
on
I like
the
that.
nose.
That's good. Good segue.
Yeah, good segue.
So, like,
I'm getting used to this.
So we'll do these fun segments. This segment right here, related to serving, is called Turn and Burn.
All right.
Now we all know that you're trying to get that table out as fast as possible. So we're gonna go through different subjects and hot topics right now, and get everybody's opinion. And we'll have a minute, 15 seconds each to voice our opinion on it. And
15 seconds, or are we all just going to talk about it?
so a minute, and we'll all just talk about
All right, sounds good.
Okay. All right, so first one here. Stingy Chipotle employees. All right, go.
it. Dude, that's the worst. Like when you ask for like half chicken, half steak, you expect them to load that shit up, dude. Like the burrito, if it's not the size of a dirty diaper at the end of it, dude, I'm pissed off, dude.
I'll tell you, I've never been disappointed.
I'll tell. I have. I
not.
felt like I've got ripped off, and here's the reason why. Because I think I figured this out. At least it's my theory. I learned this when I got married, because I would make 2 sandwiches if I'm really hungry, and my wife would say, "You're making 2 meals." I'm like, "What are you talking about? It's 2 sandwiches." But then I realized a meal to her was 1 sandwich. So she would eat 1 sandwich and be full. I'm twice her size, so I eat 2 sandwiches, and that's a meal. So when I go to Chipotle, if I look behind the counter and there's like a 110-pound female employee working back there,
She's not
I
gonna
know
hook
I'm
it up.
getting screwed.
Yeah.
If it's a dude that's like me or like you, it's like he's gonna hook me up.
Fuck yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they know what
That
a meal
thing's
is.
like right there.
I feel like for me, they think like I'm just bigger, so they like hook
Give
it
you
up. You
more?
know, they think I can eat.
I
more.
wish.
So I've
I
never been
wish-
disappointed.
Yeah, I wish that
Next-
was the case for
next
me.
subject.
All right.
All right, let's see. Yeah, you just won $1 million. Now what?
Quit my job. Quit my job. Leave my wife. Leave my kids. I'm just kidding. No.
I'm not quitting my job.
I'm quitting my job. I'm sorry. I'm not fucking working again.
I know exactly what I'm doing.
What are you doing?
Setting up a trust fund.
Office space.
I haven't seen Office Space.
Oh, yeah.
No.
What?
Oh, I want to hear this then.
Oh, listen. No joke. Have you seen Office Space?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you've ever worked in an office or a restaurant, you absolutely have to see Office Space because
Really?
Yes.
whoever wrote it, they've worked in both and they hit the nail on the head. And so, if I had $1 million, I don't know.
Set up a trust fund. I'm giving my family a set amount initially, so they can't say I gave them nothing. They can't keep asking me for shit.
There
Pay
you
them
go.
accordingly.
There you go.
And then what do? I'm getting a financial advisor, obviously, to fucking put my shit
To fund
into
that, yeah.
to invest it into stocks and stuff and buying government bonds.
You really planned this out, huh?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. He's just waiting for the
And
day. He's like,
I'm
yeah,
setting
do that.
aside
He
a
brought the
small
questions
amount.
like,
Yeah, I was going to
To
say,
blow
you wrote
through.
this question,
Yeah.
didn't you?
Yeah, you wrote this one, didn't you?
No, I've thought about this so much. It's just,
I would invest it probably, maybe real estate or something. Because $1 million nowadays won't last your
Oh, yeah.
lifetime. But if you can use that to turn around,
That's
I'd probably buy a unicorn.
Next,
Go.
next
one.
subject, yeah.
all right. Is Taco Bell Mexican food? Go.
Nope.
No.
No.
Is Olive Garden Italian food?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so,
Yes.
yeah. Have you had their fucking breadsticks, dude? That's pretty goddamn Italian. to
I'm
me.
just.
It's like saying getting a taco from fucking Jack in the Box is Mexican food. It's not.
It's a
Yeah,
taco.
It's Mexican style food.
Hey, yeah,
I
but
suppose.
like, come on, you know
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Well, but what is Mexican food? It's a taco. It's a burrito. All the stuff you can get from
It
Taco
is the
Bell.
environment.
It's
Oh, yeah.
crappy Mexican food, but I think it qualifies, right?
I love it,
yeah,
dude.
it's just a different
Dude,
style.
I love
Taco Bell, like,
Yeah.
dude, fuck, that's like fancy. That's
Shout out
like,
Taco Bell
Yeah.
all the way.
Please sponsor this Taco Bell. I'll say nothing but nice things about Taco
I
Bell.
can eat like 100 of their crunchy tacos at once. They're
Oh,
like so good.
Dude, that's how Jack in the Box tacos are for me.
Oh,
Dude,
I
fucking-
could run a
those are good
train
too.
on those.
I don't care about Jack in the Box
Oh my
tacos.
god.
Just two guys back and
They're a little
forth fucking
spicy.
me in this
Like-
taco.
They're a little spicy. The Jack in the Box ones are a little spicy.
Oh, they have the little tiny ones now, though.
Not
Those
bad.
ones
Oh,
are
they
good.
Tiny tacos.
Talking about the big ones.
There's nothing wrong with tiny
little
ones, okay,
The
guys?
The ones you like?
box. Yeah.
Tiny ones are the
Really
best.
good. Tiny ones are the
All
best.
A lot of flavor.
Next time.
It's not about the size. Go.
Next time, change.
Anyway, so Tupac or Biggie? Go.
Oh, Tupac.
Oh,
every day.
I don't listen to
man.
rap.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Tupac
fuck
will.
off.
Dude, there's nothing like Changes. Like, dude, I feel so close to everybody. Like after I hear the song Changes, and then somebody cuts me off. I'm like, fuck the world right now.
Dude, it's hard
But
because
Tupac
this is
for
my
sure.
era, and I listen to a lot of hip hop, and both these guys are really big, and that's a really tough question because rap wise, they're both really talented. Tupac lied a little bit about the East Coast West Coast thing where he's from, but Biggie kind of lied about being like a street kid because his mom was a teacher and they weren't as poor as he liked to portray.
His mom was like a doctor. or
I
some
kind of,
shit,
I man, they both had clever rhymes. Tupac's a little bit of a hypocrite. He has songs about not beating women, or about his mama and not beating women. And then he I think beat up his wife at one point.
Yeah. Who can blame him?
Man, that's tough. That's a tough one.
But do you guys know who Tupac and?
I know who they are. I don't
Yeah.
listen to rap, so I really
I've heard of them.
I can't give
Yeah.
an opinion.
Well, yeah, I never got into Tupac.
Is that like Kanye
I
and
listened to
Jay-Z?
Biggie
Yeah.
a little bit, but I never really.
Right.
Tupac just wasn't for me. I don't know.
I think
That's
Biggie,
tough.
yeah, that's tough. Man.
Yeah. So we have Avengers Endgame.
I don't watch those movies.
Go.
The best movie in the whole Avengers series is Endgame. How they literally wrapped everything up and like made like at the end of the movie like you had this such satisfying like feel after it. I know other people like would definitely like say different, but dude, I thought like I look at how Star Wars ended, and after the end of Star Wars, I'm like, this sucks.
What was the one before Endgame?
Infinity War? Yeah.
Okay, that's the one where Thanos snaps his fingers.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that because it's kind of cool to see the bad guy win sometimes because
Yeah.
these movies become so predictable. But Endgame, I was disappointed because I didn't understand what Captain Marvel's role in that whole thing was because they touted her to be like this big hero, and then she wasn't even a part of the movie really. And I didn't like what they did.
She was definitely the worst actress like in the whole group.
Yeah.
And she had she was supposed to be this biggest badass. I was like,
I didn't like what they did with Thor either. And why did when they tried to kill
You like
Thanos
Fat Thor?
before he snapped
Dude,
his finger?
Fat Thor was the best.
It was
dude.
funny for a second, but then when he comes back to fighting, he's still fat.
Yeah,
I'm
it
sorry.
felt like a cheap joke, kind of.
Yeah.
This Big Lebowski Thor, dude. You guys are crazy. I
That's
love it.
time.
That's time.
Man, we need to do 2 minutes of those. But I like that. That was good.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun.
Those are definitely good. Well, I think that wraps up the whole show, you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you hit that like button. Subscribe. If you dislike everything that you saw here, double click that dislike button, and look forward for further episodes of the gang right here. Thank you, Chip, for being a part
Man, thank you.
of
That
the
was fun.
show.
Thank you, guys. Nice to meet you, dude.
Man. Nice meeting you.
Thank you.
See you next episode.